Sky Genie Entertainment presents the following. The Holiday Edition is not suitable for children under the age of 18. It contains coarse language, sexual references, my own personal views and opinions. The characters of the show are fictional and are made for fun, not harm. I'd like to thank you for listening to the Holiday Edition. The Sky Genie Show will be back on January 6th, 2018. Until then, enjoy the Holiday Edition with my special guest co-host, Johny Florida. Hello and welcome to the Sky Genie Show. This is the worst show ever. This is the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show, and Happy New Year's! I hope everybody's got their drinks, possibly got their drugs. If you had enough of them last week, you got them this week, but don't worry, you can be probably drunker and more stoned than you were last week. So my co-host tonight is Johny Florida. Johnny?
Now, if this is the worst show ever, does that mean that this is the worst holiday ever?
Or, I don't know, when there's alcohol involved, is it ever that bad?
No, until the cops show up.
Okay, for this New Year's show, we're pretty much just going to shoot the shit. So, whatever goes for 30 minutes. So, I don't know, how's your New Year's going, Johnny? That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to the next year. Everything 2018 is going to be a change of pace. You know, whether it's in politics, whether it's in the news, whether it's in society, every year just seems to change more and more. Not just for the United States, but as a whole for the planet. And the wrestling world's definitely going to be changing up, that's for sure. But I don't know. I don't have an optimistic look to this next year. I have a mysterious, like, I got feelings where I'm optimistic, but I got other things that's like, I don't know what's coming, but I know something's coming, you know?
So, I guess what we could do, since we're just going along with it, we could do, I don't know, what to expect in 2018 or something. Or we could do the year that was, or...
Could do a little of both.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we take breaks anyhow, right? So why not do a past and in the future?
So, one thing, I guess we'll, either because we're wrestling fans, who do you see as the breakout star for 2018 in any wrestling company?
Oh, man. I think this is going to be a bit of a wild card, but I'm going to put my money on Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle has done himself some good over the time. You know, he's still getting himself his rocks and everything in Ring of Honor. He's only been in the round for only so long compared to some people like Christopher Daniels, and I'm not knocking Daniels. Now, you know, we saw him for the final battle for the Ring of Honor World title. I consider him a real breakout because I think a lot of people had good hopes for him, but he's going to exceed the expectations. I just don't think he was breakout stuff for 2017 just quite yet. I think he will be for 2018.
Nah, if anyone's breakout stuff for 2017, I'd say Braun Strowman, if anybody.
Maybe. I mean, Braun had some great moments, but I don't know. I think a lot of the time...
Well, if you think about it, okay, you have Jinder Mahal, okay, he's WWE champion, but you can't, but I don't count him because he didn't really draw. He wasn't really a success. Let's face it, he wasn't. But Braun Strowman, let's face it, at the beginning of the year, he was a nobody, and when he had a match, when it was announced that he was going to have a match with Roman Reigns, everybody, and I mean everybody, looked down on Braun Strowman. From that match on up to the match with Brock Lesnar, the guy was probably the most popular, the biggest babyface reaction ever since. So yes, there's other stars, but if anybody's a breakout star, it has to be Braun Strowman. I can't think of anybody else.
I guess. I mean, for Braun, when people found it was going to be Braun versus Roman, I don't think people shat on Braun. I think they thought this guy's been being built up as a monster, and now they're going to bury him with Roman Reigns. I think that's why people shat, because they thought of the idea. Look at they did with Roman Reigns towards like I mean, they had the match with John Cena, but like, you know, we saw how he was over the time with others, like with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. They thought he was going to be fed to him as well. So I think people shat on the idea only because they were expecting Braun to not get over like he did.
But then he's just had a phenomenal feat. So we'll break it down. When he was with the Wyatt family, because there was a rumor going around that he was going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and that obviously didn't happen. I think Brock Lesnar ended up facing Dean Ambrose because it was going to be Braun Strowman, then it changed to Bray Wyatt, then it ended up being Dean Ambrose. Then all that went out the window. But then Brock Lesnar had a Royal Rumble encounter with Braun Strowman, and it created a little bit of interest. That was before the WrestleMania match was rumored. But when that was happening, people were not so much sold on it, and it's a difference because from that it was Royal Rumble 2016 to September 2017, there was a huge difference. People were more supportive of Braun because, let's face it, there's been a lot of big men who came and failed. Braun Strowman just broke out of the pack.
Well, it's also because, and everything you're saying is right, without a doubt. But the other part is, look at the two names you mentioned, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is basically Mr. WWE right now. Roman Reigns has been trying to make Mr. WWE, and their plans are going to be that case for WrestleMania. They're hoping to completely solidify it, you know. But, so because of that, the idea of Braun facing them, people thought he was just going to get buried like everyone else. And in some ways they did that with the Brock-Braun match they did. You know, but
a lot of people hate that. Like, okay, I understand the one F5 thing, but I can't necessarily say I hate it, because I did like the match at some points, but I'm also a guy, the person that's one protecting a finish is a must. So one F5 I understand. The 6-minute squashes, okay, that probably sucks, but then Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar are two big men. You're only going to get a short match out of them. Bigger people, you're going to get shorter matches out of them. Samoa Joe probably could have went longer, but them's the breaks, I guess.
Yeah, but we've seen Brock and Braun do longer matches. Now, Brock, maybe over the years now, he just wants shorter. Maybe he can only do shorter or something. And that's understandable. Braun, here's the big thing as well. If you look back in the past, people were afraid of the whole thing with Braun because people were thinking he's just going to get buried, which is, like I said, what they were doing. But if you look back in the past, you could have someone who was basically the guy. Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, John Cena, and someone would get over. You know, you had Brock Lesnar was the guy, and they would treat him as the next big thing. He was the beast and everything back in 2002. What do? Big Show defeats him for the WWE title. So they allowed somebody to knock out the person who was the big thing. Today's day, WWE hasn't been doing that, and that's why people were afraid. And with Braun, he naturally became so great and such a powerhouse that even with the crap that's happened, the fans shat on WWE for it. They shat on Roman Reigns for it. They don't shit on Braun.
But the thing with Brock Lesnar, like, he's so much more believable as a guy that could beat Braun Strowman because, there's two different schools of thought. There's the entertainment side, and Brock Lesnar is not an entertainer. He's not a sports entertainer. That guy is a legit trained fighter. How many people are actually going to beat up Brock Lesnar? Now, if you look at it, Braun Strowman would be a guy that would beat Brock Lesnar, but then I understand why he lost and how, but I don't think the right idea was for him to get pinned. He should have got a DQ finish or some kind of fuck finish, but then I understand Brock Lesnar winning.
Mm-hmm. No, and I understand Brock winning as well. But the thing that people had a problem with was the short match. You know, if they let the match go for 15 minutes and Brock still inches through, the way they built Braun Strowman is what they would build him the same as how they did with Kane in 97 and the Big Show in 99. You know, they were building him as a monster. And you don't have a match like Brock versus Braun be a short match. You let it be a decent length match, and the champ can still get over it. That's your plan. You just don't let it be so easy. You can't make someone to be such a monster who seems to be unstoppable, and then Brock just comes in and just destroys him in a matter of a few minutes.
So we'll move on from that. The Undertaker. There's so many rumors of him saying he's retired, but then there are rumors of him coming back. If he is to return, who does he face?
Kane.
You think Kane?
Yep.
I can't see that for some reason, like, because it's been done. If anybody's going to retire, it's either going to be John Cena or Braun Strowman. I think because Braun Strowman's going to have to have a program somewhere, and it's not for a world championship. It's got to be either the Undertaker or Brock Lesnar. But then Brock Lesnar's gone to Roman Reigns, unless you have Cena and Strowman, which I don't want.
Well, here's what you got. the main event for WrestleMania is going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. We've suspected it for a long time, and we already saw it. We even found out the week after WrestleMania 33 that was going to be the plan for 34. So, but what's one of the big things that's going to be about Brock and Roman? It's that they are the two people who have defeated Undertaker at WrestleMania. One who defeated the Streak, and the other who defeated the Undertaker. Now, under that logic, Undertaker shouldn't return. But if they're going to have him return, they're going to push it as the two guys who defeated Undertaker facing off as the two behemoths. So you're going to have Undertaker come back. You can't let anybody else defeat Taker, because now there's a third guy who could very much be in the match. You know what I mean? So they're not going to let somebody else beat the Undertaker, and it's not going to feel as good in a way if you have the two men that defeated the Undertaker facing off, and then Undertaker wins another match in a way. So with Kane, here's what you do. You bring back Kane, his brother. Who better to be the final match is the Undertaker versus Kane. They're fighting. Then they both go off the ropes, run towards each other, go do a strike. Lights go out. Lightning hits all over. You come back into the ring with the lights back on, and what do you have? Undertaker's hat and Kane's mask. That's all that's left in the ring. You just effectively retired the two of them, the quote-unquote Brothers of Destruction, together.
Although I will say, I do hope that Undertaker is retired, though, because the way they sent him off was probably a picture-perfect one. Like, he takes the gloves off, takes the hat and leaves it in the middle of the ring. I mean, what better send-off can you have from that? And coming back, I think, would make that mean nothing.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's, I mean, I was at Jeff's place, one of our co-hosts. I was at Jeff's place for the WrestleMania party, and we watched WrestleMania together. And I can tell you, everybody, like one of the guys started talking. I don't know if it was me or Jeff, or one of us said, "Shh, stop, watch. You know, look what's happened. This is, you know, look at this moment." And it was just, whether you respected The Undertaker, whether you didn't respect The Undertaker, just seeing him realizing it's the end of the era, it was symbolic. People, like, everyone's heart was stopping. Because it was like we were literally watching someone die. And it's not that, like, we thought, okay, Undertaker's dead inside. No, the dead man is dying in front of us, and Mark Calloway is walking out of the ring.
Okay. We're going to throw to our first break. We're 15 minutes. I'm letting this show go a little bit longer than normal, but we'll go to our first break, so we'll be back after the break.
The Sky Genie Show will be back after the break. Can't get enough of the Sky Genie Show? Check out the website, skygenieshow.weebly.com. There you'll find links to past shows and much more. Go to skygenieshow.weebly.com today for in-depth discussion on professional wrestling, as well as politics and the stupid laws in your state. Check out Wrestling's National Committee with Johny Florida, Old Man Jenkins, and Papa Dave Sincere, live on Mixlr on Tuesdays during SmackDown, for the after party of Wrestling Soup, and on Sundays. Check them out. For in-depth discussion and show updates, go to the show's Facebook at the Sky Genie Show page. Do you need more fruits and vegetables in your diet? Check out juiceplus.com.au today. Juice Plus is the convenient and inexpensive way to add more nutrition to your diet from fruits and vegetables every day. Juice Plus Fruit Blend is made from 7 different fruits. Juice Plus Vegetable Blend is made from 10 different vegetables, grains, plus an array of natural antioxidants, phytochemicals, and fiber in a convenient capsule form. Each ingredient is especially selected to provide you with a wide range of nutritional benefits. We call it next best thing to fruits and vegetables. Check out juiceplus.com.au today. For those wanting to follow me on Twitter, it's at SDD916. Check it out. For discussions and opinions on the events of professional wrestling, Check out Wrestling Soup with Joey Numbers, Anthony Missionary Thomas, and John Draper as they break down what's good and what's bad in professional wrestling with a light-hearted approach. Thursdays, 9:30 on Mixlr, Saturday morning-ish, and after every WWE pay-per-view, you get a free post-show review. Check out Wrestling Soup, motherfuckers. You are listening to The Sky Genie Show.
And we are back. We're here with Johny Florida. So we're pretty much having a free-for-all, easygoing show because it's New Year's Eve and everybody's out probably getting drunk.
By the way, dude, I want to thank you for letting me be the one to help bring in the new year with you. I'm honored for that.
Exactly. I'd rather do it with on the show anyway, because I remember it was Yuck Nut when I first listened to Get in the Corner. It was the New Year's Eve edition, and there was the one where Lisa came on and her boyfriend, and I don't know if anybody in the chat was there for that, but Russell might have been. Lisa came on. Mish was on the show, and I listened to Get in the Corner that show because of Mish, and I kept hearing about it was New Year's Eve, so I decided to listen to that show. Lisa comes on, and a bit after Mish leaves, and brings this Mark guy on, and Mark Meatball, and it was Evan Hill and Yuck Nasty end up giving the guy the shits. He ends up leaving, and Lisa goes, "Oh, the guy almost died. He got a meatball stuck in his throat," and everyone's just pissing themselves laughing. And one thing I've hated about that, because I'm not good with technology, and I'm surprised Skype's working, but I was like, oh man, I wish I could have been a part of that. That would have been fun as hell. For this I try to make a lot really fun too. So so why not make fun? And I wish I had Yuck. I should have got Yuck on for this one, but I will.
Oh, thanks.
As well.
No, okay, Yuckness is awesome. I would not be offended one bit if you brought him on.
No on me though. Like everyone knows, except for people listening live, but people listening later on, this is taped, so I'll probably end up doing a New Year's thing anyway. So probably, why not?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you come on with us when we do it? Because we did the show last New Year's. I was live on the air for New Year's with the I think with the guys right after. So you could join in with us.
Done. And we'll get
awesome.
We'll get Yuck involved. We can see if we get Mish involved. We get a shitload of people involved. I think that'll be pretty fun. Really fun show.
Sounds like a plan.
Lick Birch, yes, we love Yuck Nasty. So, getting on to the topic, next week, as when this show will come out, will be Wrestle Kingdom 12. It'll be Okada versus Naito, Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho, Tanahashi is facing Jay White. This card is looking awesome.
Yeah. And there's more to come, so that's a good part.
There is more to come. I'm wondering who gets the tag team championship, because at the moment I'm on a real big kick with the Guerrillas of Destiny. Like, they're my favorite tag team currently in wrestling is Guerrillas of Destiny. But it's funny though, because they're usually the ones going on these interviews. But I saw the press conference that they had for the New Japan League, for the World Tag League, and
yeah.
They didn't do anything. I'm like, oh, this is surprising. But the funnier ones were Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens. Chase Owens.
Okay.
They as they are coming out, 'cause they have everybody walking out at first. They come into the front of the podium. Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens come in. They take the trophies and take them back with them. And it's later on. It's Adam Page and Yujiro Takahashi. I think is the Tokyo Pimp. They're like, fuck this, I can't stand to watch this. They come back and take him back off him. It was pretty funny. And Minoru Mizuki, that guy who doesn't have to speak a word of English, but he's a scary motherfucker when he speaks.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Like I was listening to it. I couldn't understand what he said, but it was just the tone and the way he spoke. Like, you don't want to mess with that guy.
Not at all. No. I'm with you on that.
So, who's your pick on the World Tag League after this is aired?
Oh man. See, here's one of the things. You know how you mentioned Gorillas of Destiny?
Yes.
You know, you're mad about them, right?
I'm not mad, but I just find their team actually the most entertaining to me. Like the way they do stuff, they don't have to be. They're good in the ring, and they're also entertaining on the mic. And when Tonga motherfucks everybody, it's just so cool to me.
Right. See, now I'm glad about this. You know, the Gorillas of Destiny, they're the tag team champions. You know, and I'm.
It's actually Killer Elite Squad. Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lenny.
Oh, that's right. They lost the belts. They lost them.
Yeah, they lost. Lost. Who had him? War Machine had him for a while, and I think.
Yeah.
And I think Gorillas of Destiny won them on another match. Then Killer Elite Squad won it back. I'll check it up later. But
see, now here's the thing: is Killer Elite Squad, and my apologies for that. I can talk about them then. I'm glad. With the Gorillas during the match, then I'm happy. Because I know New Japan's different than the United States, clearly, and I'm glad for that. But the one thing I do believe is when you have these tournaments, the Royal Rumble, the King of the Ring, the World Tag Team, the G1, the World Tag League, the G1 Climax, I personally don't believe the champion should be in the match. Because to me, these events, whoever wins the World Tag League, it's not that they won the World Tag League. To me, it's more the fact that by winning the World Tag League, we know who should be the number one contenders for the belts at that time. So I don't like the idea of the champions because now, if the champions are in the tag league and they lose, how can they claim that they're the best tag team? Because somebody else beat them, they should be losing the belts at that time. And
yeah, well, they sort of do book it smart because you beat the team, you get the shot. Now, if Killer Elite Squad win, which I'm thinking they're the team that might win, they get the choice. Because if you remember Tanahashi, when I forget who I think it was Juice Robinson. When he beat Juice Robinson, he challenged Kota Ibushi. Now, I would think it would go that they would go choose people who are either the runner-up or a tag team that they're not sure of. I think the tag team to watch out for, not to win, but to watch out for, will be Michael Elgin and Brian Gage. I think those two are going to be a pretty big force in that tournament.
Yeah, and that's a good team as well. If I were to look at them, see, I'm kind of biased to Evil and Sonata. I was always a fan of Sonata and TNA. But personally, I don't know how far they're going to go. But I would go with Tomohiro Ishii and Yano. Ishii's got a great thing going with him. He's got his background in New Japan. He's Ring of Honor television champion. I was saying, when they were doing the U.S. Championship tournament, I said many times Ishii should be the one to win the belt. Because if they want a Japanese wrestler to be the face of New Japan when they come into the States, Ishii should be the guy.
But the reason why they went for Kenny Omega was because of prestige. He was coming off that off the main event run with Okada, so the guy is generally going to be an instant draw. I mean, Kenny Omega's a draw now in New Japan. So my thinking and logical sense would think Kenny Omega would be the person because at the moment you got 3 main events. Okay. You have one main event, but there's 3 main matches that are main event shows. It's a triple crown show at this point,
Right.
because now you got three people who are capable of being in the main event, giving big matches. Okay, whatever you opinion of Dave Meltzer aside, whatever, 5-7 star matches, whatever.
17 stars.
Yeah, I don't get hung up on that so much. Like, people get angry with it. I see it on Solomonster's page all the time. I'm just like, it's an opinion. Some people get really stupid with it. It's like, oh, this guy's an idiot because he rates it 6 or 5 stars. I'm like, who cares in the end? Just if you like it, whatever. If you don't think it, if you don't agree with him, whatever. Like, who cares at that point? It's wrestling. It's subjective.
Right. Well, people just love to knock Meltzer for fun and all that. But, I mean, now, with Kenny Omega, when he won the U.S. title, at first I thought it was a demotion. I'm like, wait a minute. He just had great matches with Okada for the world title. He doesn't win, so you guys give him the U.S. title. I'm thinking it's a demotion. But then I got to thinking, and with them building New Japan USA, like you said, they want someone who's got the prestige. Kenny Omega is going to be the face. See, people have been talking, as we saw months back, is Kenny Omega going to be leaving New Japan? With Chris Jericho, he's got to be going to WWE soon, huh? No. Kenny Omega is going to be the face of New Japan USA. He's going to be there as they build up the Fed, get the brand going, and then once they feel it's solidified, he will drop the U.S. title and he's going to go back for the world title. And this time I think he's going to win it.
I don't see the US title or the Intercontinental title as a demotion, though, because and I know you have the WWE comparison that if you go to their company, it's either the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship. That's the two championships that really matter. But with New Japan and Ring of Honor do it too, but not so much. But New Japan, they make the Intercontinental Championship a main event title. They make the US title a main event title. They make the tag team championships, the junior titles not so much. The only titles that are in New Japan that don't really have a lot of meaning is the 6-man titles, and I think they'll end up being scrapped soon because they haven't really been featuring those in matches much.
Well, I mean, no, and you make a good point, so I should have reiterated on that. My apologies. What I mean by with the whole demotion is it's a pun from WWE, and I despise it in a way to utilize them, but the whole face of the WWE, the face of the brand, when you're the world champion, you're the face, you're the guy. How they treat the junior heavyweights is smart. I love how New Japan does it. That's how you're supposed to treat a junior heavyweight. They're good about that. You know, you can go to be Intercontinental Champion and then go for the junior heavyweight title later, you know, because that's a higher prestige, so it's beautiful. But still, after everything they did, teasing the idea that Omega's going to become the world heavyweight champion, then to have him lose twice, well, draw, and then go for the U.S. title, it just felt like it was a consolation prize. That's why I thought they could have had him go for the belt later, but the first champion should have been, in my mind, Tomohiro Ishii or Jay Lethal.
Yeah, you can see how much with this show we got into a lot of wrestling talk. People who, because we're going with the flow, pretty much going into it. The first one was first show was planned to be an interview. The second show was planned to be wrestling talk. This just happens to have wrestling talk. We're just shooting with the shit. So
okay, we'll move away from wrestling. Let's look back to 2017. What's your views on the? You miss Barnaby Joyce?
No.
Aww.
Hey, look. There's so much more than what he did to Johnny Depp's dogs. I mean, whatever. The guy is not really. The things he says and does, and I won't go into it too much because I hate politics, but he's not exactly a guy that you would trust as a politician. And when things don't get passed, like we just got the gay vote, and we haven't passed it. We just got it ended up being a survey, so it wasn't really so much a referendum thing, which was bullshit because it was a postal vote. And he was one of the ones who backed this up. And the criticism is, why not have... But that whole government, and things can't get passed and if the National Party don't agree with the Liberal Party. And that's our things. And he has pushed back on a lot of things that we should have had. And for the gay vote going forward, now, obviously I'm not gay. I have a girlfriend, yay. But the reason why I voted yes in the survey, which technically to be a survey, to me, Australia is very much in the 1950s in the way of thinking. And it's that when you think it's within politics, they think Catholic, they think gay is bad. Not so much. There's still a bit of a racial issue, and we're still so far ahead from being an actual proper thing. My feeling is the gay vote going forward is an actual step for Australia moving forward in catching up with the rest of the world, because we're so far behind because we have politicians who won't move the needle, and with us not being a republic country either, this country is still very much behind the times.
Well, if it helps, I mean, in the U.S., gay marriage only became a national thing in the end a couple of years ago, within the last couple of years. And if it helps you feel better, I mean, you guys are doing better than other countries. In Uganda and parts of Africa, people are still executed for being gay.
And Australia's doing it to follow suit, because Australia wants to be seen as equal, because America promotes themselves as free or a free country to do this and that, and you want to do this. Australia wants that too, but you have political leaders that prevent that. We're a free nation, but we're not so much free in the way we can't have gay marriage. We can't legalize marijuana. I'm okay for marijuana being legal, but medical, but that's a personal issue myself that I won't get into on the show. But it's I don't know, just Australia moving forward is something that means something to me.
You know, bit of a surprise. I thought gay marriage was already legal in Australia. I thought you guys were ahead of us by years.
We had it in I think 2000. I think we had it, and John Howard at the time, Prime Minister John Howard at the time, abolished it, and we haven't had it for a while. So, I don't know, this country.
Well, let me ask this. I know you're not the biggest on politics. If anybody doesn't know, Barnaby Joyce was the Deputy Prime Minister in Australia. So let's talk about the big cheese. Do you think Australia is better with Malcolm, or do you miss Tony? Should I call it pig-tailed pull-in Tony?
Personally, I hate them both. And, like, the bullshit is, like, we've had 4 new Prime Ministers in the space of 10 years. And elections are meant to be 3 to 4 years. So, but we have had more elections in the last 10 years of prime ministers, because we've had people doing the stabbing in the back, and we've changed leaders politically. Then we've voted that party. As to the Labor Party and Liberal Party, pretty much did the same thing. The Labor Party did it first. Then, with Kevin Rudd, when Julie Gillard took over, who is a redhead cunt. I forgot the joke we used to have here for is that Red Rooster or KFC meal as to what's in it. I forget the joke with it now, but anyway. Then he came back.
Yeah, always for a cup of coffee. He was in for what, 5 months?
He was in for a good while. I think he was in for about a year and a half.
No, but Kevin Rudd.
Rudd,
I got it right here. Kevin Rudd.
He was in.
Kevin Rudd was Prime Minister from December 2007 to June 2010, and then he came back in Then he came back in June of 2013, but only held it until September of that year when Tony took over.
Yeah, because he called election immediately after he got back in. So then we went to so then they got voted out because people got sick of that. We get Tony Abbott, and nobody liked Tony Abbott, but we got him because the other Labour Party was pretty much a fuck up. But they pretty much did the same thing when we got Malcolm Turnbull. So it's just politics. You understand why I hate politics? I don't know we're going into the subject, but I really, really hate politics that much.
Well, I brought up Puppy as a joke thing. I didn't expect this to go this much. I apologize.
Yeah, we're shooting the shit. So, but that will end the politics talk, and we'll actually take a break. And when we come back, more of the Sky Genie Show.
The Sky Genie Show will be back after the break. Are you a person looking to get into media for work experience? Then sign up to Sky Genie Entertainment. Sky Genie Entertainment is everything the Sky Genie Show, from the channels to the social media page, marketing and advertising. This is strictly for volunteering, but if you're interested, go to skygenieshow.weebly.com, follow the link to the Sky Genie Entertainment page, and click the link to the inbox, where I will deal with you personally. On that page is a list of positions I am looking for. Check it out today. Looking for a good wrestling podcast for Sundays? Because let's face it, who isn't bored on a Sunday, but also wants to have that lazy day? Then check out the Solomonster Sounds off. He breaks down everything that in the week that was professional wrestling. Also check out his Facebook page, where there's numerous discussions on the topics of professional wrestling. Solomonster Sounds off drops every Sunday on Podbean. Check out the Sky Genie Show on YouTube, Mixlr, Vimeo, and DTube. Looking for a podcast instead of wrestling? And check out Get in the Corner with Dogger Baby and Yuck Nasty, 8:30 Wednesday night on Mixlr. Do you need a good laugh after the crap you see on Monday Night Raw? Then check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle Show as they break down Raw and current events in professional wrestling. The Don Tony Kevin Castle Show, immediately after Raw. Hey, have you got a suggestion for Stupid Shit of the Week? Then please send it to Twitter at SDD916. That is at SDD916 on Twitter. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show.
And we are back with the Sky Genie Show with Johny Florida. This is the New Year's edition. Happy New Year.
The hell with 2018. I want my 2017 back.
So we were originally going to go, who's going to be the breakout star 2018? Who's going to be the breakout star for 2017? We went into 17, but we're going to talk about 18. So we'll start from there. Who do you think is going to be the breakout star for 2018 in any company?
Well, I mean, I kind of said before for Dalton Castle.
Yeah, you did.
I think I was meaning for 2018. And I know you went to Braun for the last year. So I guess we could switch it around. For me, as far as the last year, and then you could do your 2018. For me, the last year was Cody. I know it sounds stupid to say for Cody being for how long he's been in the business to call him a breakout, but I truly think he's the breakout star because he literally broke out of WWE and he's been mainstreaming all across the rest of the planet.
And despite people like him or not, he has gone out to make a career of himself because he went around to all the major shows. He was at WrestleMania in 2016. He went to Bound for Glory, then to Final Battle in 1 year, and Wrestle Kingdom. So that is a pretty good rise. And whatever you think of Cody, I mean, you have to admit he's having a pretty successful career in the indie scene.
Oh yeah, well not just the indies. I mean, because Ring of Honor is a pro here. It's the number 3 now, number 2 because of Impact moving to Canada, basically. New Japan's the number 2 of the entire planet, so he's doing some good work. He's also tag team champions in Alpha One Wrestling in Canada, and he's the Northeast Wrestling heavyweight champion over in New England. So Kenny Omega is on the indies and he's on the pros, and he's just proving how much of a king he can be without WWE, like everyone didn't think was possible.
Yeah, but then you could argue that Kenny Omega did sort of have a breakout year last year as well, because this year as well, because he started 2016. He started 2017 as a junior. No, he didn't actually. Right. Sorry, I'm wrong. He started 2016 as a junior. It was more 2016, I guess, he was a breakout star. He went around the full year and made it to the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. So in a full year, so if he's a breakout star, then I think he would be 2016 would be Kenny Omega, without a doubt. And this year he's gone full out because he's gone around the full main event circuit. Yes, he's gone down to the US title, but still, he's still in the main event. But as far as my 2018 pick, it's a good one. See, I would have said Jason Jordan if the angle worked. If the angle with being Kurt Angle's son worked. But I can't see that happening. Like, despite everybody saying he's a good wrestler, he's a good talker, yes, but bad gimmick, bad time, bad place. Sadly, that's the issue with him. 2018. You know, I think somebody said in the chat that maybe Jay White might be the breakout star of 2018. The guy just came back to New Japan Pro Wrestling in a pretty big way, and seems to have it gimmick down pat. And he will probably end up beating Tanahashi for the Intercontinental Championship. So I can see Jay White being the next breakout star.
I can see that. And Jay White's, he's built himself up in many ways, so I'm not going to argue too much. I mean, I still think Dalton Castle on the other side, but if votes came out saying that it was Jay White, I'd support it.
The one thing about Dalton Castle though, yes, it's in Ring. Yes, he'll probably be a breakout star, but then Ring of Honor hasn't exactly as. Yes, it has been has put on pretty good shows, but it hasn't actually. I don't think Ring of Honor is at the place it should be, and that Dalton Castle will get a fair shake, but he won't be on the level where he should be because Ring of Honor is not exactly in a hot period.
Well, it is. I mean, because you got to think about it. It's in a relationship with CMLL in Mexico, RPW in the UK, and New Japan. I mean, look at Wrestle Kingdom. Cody's defending the Ring of Honor World Title at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, that is true. But I just have I haven't really seen too much. I honestly haven't watched Ring of Honor personally myself as much as I should because I'm always busy. And honestly, out of sight, out of mind, I just haven't really heard much of Ring of Honor to really know if it's hot or not. And this is coming from a guy like when you hear a buzz, that's when you know it's happening. Like at the moment, New Japan is in a buzz. Ring of Honor might be in a hot period as far as wrestling, but I don't ever really hear a buzz about it at this point in time. Yes, it may change within the future, and I think the buzz would be created if they push their Women of Honor division. And I want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think that Ring of Honor will put a lot of focus on their women's division? in 2018.
The Women of Honor is still a newer concept for Ring of Honor. And what I mean by that is the fact that it's clearly not that old. I mean, it's been something that they've only been doing for a short period. You know, it only started really, I mean, it started back in 2002, but they didn't really push it. It got relaunched, actually, 2 years ago. So, the fact they've been building it up, they have a relationship with Stardom earlier this 2017. So, they've been building like that. You know, I got the feeling that they're going to push the Women of Honor for the WOH and get a WOH championship. I mean, they've recognized the Shimmer title and the Stardom titles. So, the idea of them pushing their own women's championship just makes sense.
And obviously things could change between the time, but I think if there was ever a time to do it, it would be a final battle, because Ring of Honor still gets eyeballs on the final battle shows, and I think that would be where you would launch it, and I can't see anywhere else where they would. So I think if they start putting them on the pay-per-views, that's when you start giving them notice. And in earlier point in the show, we'll bring it up here, and I think one person that might help Ring of Honor, but also benefit them, would be Emma, even though she really couldn't appear till about February. But she would be someone that I would think would be somebody with a name value that could carry it and build the next champion, and possibly be the star of it.
Yeah. No, I think Emma, there's going to be some good things happening with her come February. You know, I know she's got indie bookings going on, and items like that. Come February, I just got that feeling that there's no way she's not going to be somewhere. The question is she going to go back to Australia, or is she going to continue living here in Central Florida, where I live? If she chooses to stay here, then wrestling for Ring of Honor, or maybe even Impact if she can get a visa to Canada, or New Japan USA. The other part is that here's something to look forward to 2018 is we're going to have New Japan USA, we're going to have the NWA. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood is now on the CW network in about 35% of homes in the U.S. So they're getting themselves up there. So, I mean, there's a lot of options. For the longest time, we actually haven't seen something like this since the 90s or even the 80s. Never has there been more pro-feds in the United States than this time. And I know it sounds asinine. Someone's going to say, well, CWF Hollywood's much smaller. Ring of Honor's no match. But when these guys can get paid good money as a pro to be in Impact, Ring of Honor, NWA, CWF Hollywood, I mean, and Lucha Underground being back, there's a lot of possibilities, and it's going to be interesting to say the least.
So I'll ask you this, and we'll probably make this the last topic and end on it, but the NWA, do you think Billy Corrigan will announce something tomorrow as of taping, which would be the January 1st, 2018?
I think so. I don't know as far as like right after the new year. He may give it a little bit of time. Here's the one thing we already know. Billy Corgan's already said, it's already been revealed, he hopes to do shows by March. So the smart move is, New Japan already announced they're going to be...
Which is why I'm thinking he will announce something on January 1st, because it's the new year, the new financial... it'll be a different quarter. They try to do things at the end of the quarter, and with the new year coming in, I think it'll be... I think if you're going to hear any announcement, it'll be January 1st. Because that's what they did with TNA. That's what they did with TNA. That WWE does that all the time. And a lot of businesses will do that for January 1st. You get all these is when you get announcements. So I would say, and actually keep out for this for something from Billy Corrigan on that date, because if just the way wrestling and businesses do, you kind of... I just have a feeling something will be announced on January 1st.
Oh, we could definitely see. I mean, I think in the near future he will. Like I said, I mean, he's going to be doing... He says he wants shows by March. You know, and New Japan already announced they plan on doing a show Mania Week in New Orleans. So if he's smart for the NWA, do a show in New Orleans area as well and see what he could pull off and go from there. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some kind of TV deal, whether it's with Fight TV, whether it's with a smaller network or a bigger network. Billy Corgan's got a lot of connections.
You want to know where I think he will land? Netflix. I think because Netflix take a lot of celebrities, and with him with a celebrity name, because they want to get name value out there. He is a big enough name that he could get that show onto Netflix and have it be a weekly thing. So I'm wondering if that's where he will end up going.
I don't see it, to be honest. Look at what happened with Lucha Underground. They got on Netflix. Everyone thought it was going to be the greatest thing for them. It's like,
yeah,
my God.
Lucha Underground don't have a name value, whereas Billy Corgan
but they
does.
do. Here's the thing they do. They're the number 4 Fed in the United States. I know it's not much in the UK or in Australia, but in the US they were deemed something great. They were doing a lot of great stuff. They were working. They were partially owned by AAA, so we saw AAA stars and championships there as well. They're even airing. I think they're airing in India as well. So,
but what I'm saying to that, like, yes, Lucha Underground is a name, but there's no name attached to it. It's not, having Johny Florida or Sky Genie presents Lucha Underground, honestly, it has no meaning. But if you have Billy Corgan and presents Lucha Underground or NWA, or if you have, I don't know, John Goodman, probably not John Goodman, that's probably a shit one. I don't know, Chris Rock presents Lucha Underground or NWA. That's where you get the advertisement, because people recognize, oh, look, it's Billy Corgan, or it's Chris Rock, and I want to see Chris Rock. So that's where I think that might be a little bit different.
Here's the difference, though. Billy Corgan's not a movie star. He's a music star. And he wasn't a single person. He wasn't a Jimmy Buffett or an Ozzy Osbourne. He was a member of Smashing Pumpkins. Now, Smashing Pumpkins is a great band, but Billy Corgan's name is known a lot less than the name of Smashing Pumpkins. So unless it's Smashing Pumpkins presents, Billy Corgan's got the name out in the wrestling world. And there's going to be a lot of people that will tune out for NWA. But I don't think that's going to work with Netflix. And I think he's smart enough to realize Netflix isn't the way to go. Lucha Underground had a big buzz, and wrestling fans across are going, wow, we got to check this out. And they didn't check it out on Netflix. And people, as much as people want to say, oh, the days of regular television is over, it's not. If you want to get real revenue, I'm not the guy who talks the whole business plot. I can't stand it in many ways. But if he's going to need some revenue as he builds the company, he needs to be on a television network where he's getting the advertisement revenue. And he's smart enough to realize that. Because you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for a regular TV deal. You already got your cable box. You have to pay for Netflix.
Because the other option would be Fight TV. Because I can see that happening. Because apparently he has the relationship with the Fight TV people. So it's like you do. So I could see that happening too.
Yeah, and I'd love to see that. I could see him doing Fight TV as a startup item. Because Fight TV doesn't cost you anything. You know, people who tune out for it, you know, Billy Corgan would be getting paid for it, Fight TV would be getting paid, so they'll make their money like that, and that could be one avenue while he gets TV, but I can't see him doing, let's say, Netflix as a long-term item. It'd have to be like an initial item or a supplementary. So Fight TV is one way to do that as well, but he's gonna be going for a regular TV network deal.
Well, anyway, we're going to wrap it up at this episode of the Sky Genie Show. Plug away.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on for all this. This was a blast, and again, an honor to do. You can check us out, Wrestling's National Committee. Check us out on Mixlr, WNC Show. That's a space, WNC Space Show. or Mixlr.com/WNC-show. You can check us out on Facebook, Wrestling's National Committee, or join our fan group page, the WNC Nation. Get involved, talk wrestling, make posts, and get it all covered. You can check us out on Twitter at WNC4Life. That's the number 4. Life spelled Lyfe. Our shows are uploaded on Mixcloud. That's mixcloud.com/WNC or Wrestling's National Committee on there. Our Patreon accounts, please support us, Patreon, patreon.com/WNC. If you donate at least $10 throughout the year, we now host a fantasy booking tournament, and whoever wins becomes the champion, the WNC champion for the year, and wins a championship belt, an actual belt. And our show's on Fight TV, video news, FITE. Go to fight.tv/WNC. Download the app completely free, and enjoy all the wrestling on there. Ring of Honor's on there, UFC's on there, ICW from Scotland, and so much more, and us. So, again, I appreciate it, Sky. Plug your stuff, because that's the gold.
No worries. You can check out my website, skygenishow.weebly.com. There has my links to all platforms of my show. My show is on YouTube, BitChute, DTube, Vimeo, and Mixcloud. On Facebook, it's the Sky Genie Show page. On Twitter, it's at SDD916. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Have a happy new year, and I'll catch you next year. Peace.
Peace.
This was a Sky Genie Show production.